Have mercy. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, fam. How y'all doing? You know what? I'm gonna get right to the point because I am so sick of us. I really am. About 20 years ago, I worked as a health inspector for the town that I worked in. And one day I didn't bring my lunch and I went into a store. Okay? The store is called Lena's. Lena's has uh, is really pretty much the leading black owned and operated store in the city that I live in. Now, Lena's, well, when I was a child though, I must admit, the first store that Lena's opened up was a very small store and it was fairly clean. I'm gonna flash forward to 1994, maybe. So 20 years ago. Um, ooh, I remember going into the store because I didn't bring lunch, and I walked in there, and there was the most horrible smell that you could possibly imagine. So the first thing I did is I told the staff, I said, "What the hell is going on in here?" I had a uniform on at the time, and of course they told me some kind of lie about the plumbing system or the sewer system being down there. I was like, something is wrong in here, and it doesn't smell right. So when I left, I went to my truck. The first thing I did was, because I wasn't able, as a health inspector, to initiate com- to write a ticket on a commercial property. But what I would have to do is call building inspection, and they will come in and write up a ticket. Okay, so I know they did it because it was incredible, the smell. Again, this was 20 years ago, and in a way, I blame myself because I never shopped at Lena since then. In fact, I never went since I was a kid going with my dad. But I probably should have, even if I left the health department, I should have went and saw if Lena's was still open because they had investigative news reporting, and Lena's was right there, front and center, black owned, black operated, selling the community meat and bread and stuff with rats running around in that store as big as fucking ponies. The rat feces on the meat. There was a guy that called a radio station and said, "Hey, listen, I'm speaking anonymously. I work here. We have a rat problem, and they're making us take rotten meat that is turning brown and golden and making us put food coloring on it and rewrap it and put a reduced sticker on it. And this is what's happening. This is what the black store is doing to its black people in the heart of the community. And I'm sick and tired of black folks talking about what the Europeans is doing to us, and this is what we're doing to ourselves." And then the second part of that is, how in the hell can you walk into a store and know it stink, and then buy the objects out of the store and feed them to your babies? That's going to show me how low you think about yourself. And your kids don't have no choice because they up under you. And they're being fed this inferior, pest-infested food. And y'all been continuously giving them this stuff until the health inspector went in there 2 days ago and shut them down for a year. He should have gone out and shut all the goddamn stores down. How dare they? How dare Lena's do this to the black community? And how dare the black community be so fucking stupid that you will walk in that filthy, stinking shithole. The lady said she picked up the bread and just squeezed it to see how fresh it was, and it was rat droppings all in it. They showed them on camera. They were running around the store. Big ones. She said she took the bread back to Lena's. I guess she took the bread home. So she took it back, and she said that the manager acted like it wasn't even a big deal. Y'all, you know we eat this shit. I'm putting black folks on notice now. Because charity begins at home and it spreads abroad. And I'm getting sick and damn tired of y'all talking about what other people's doing to us and then not what we doing to ourselves. Because if you're not willing to address that, then they don't sit and talk about nothing else. Ain't no system talking about nothing else. That you would feed your babies some damn nasty smelling. This is the same shit that happened with Jeffrey Dahmer. Y'all lived in a building with him. It was stinking. The whole damn neighborhood was stinking. And nobody insisted that the health department come in there and find the origin of that smell. You know what? Nobody even called. They probably maybe had a complaint maybe once. Because working for the city and being a health inspector is a citizen initiated entity. So if the citizens don't call and complain and initiate a complaint against a resident, ain't nobody getting ready to run around and start doing nothing on their own. Police don't do it. They ride around, smoke weed, drink alcohol, do all kinds of shit until it come on radio what they need to do. This is insanity that we would treat ourselves this way. How many of y'all lived up in that damn building with that stinking ass man? I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that Lena's could be in business and 20 years ago I wrote them up. 20 years ago. Or had somebody write them up. Now there's 2 decades of children and growed up eating rat piss meat, rat doo-doo meat, mice dropping meat, and y'all don't have a problem with that because we feel so bad about ourselves. And that's the sad part about it. Nobody that feels good about themselves, nobody that has a healthy perspective about themselves would even let that shit be in their neighborhood. Like Jeffrey Dahmer. White boy sat amongst you, ate you, had the stink shit in the apartment building, and y'all just went on like it was nothing. We can't keep doing this, family. This is sick. We need a drop squad because the next story is so crazy. There's a young man who stuck some steel in the older couple's, the lady's mouth, took her wallet. He had been on a shooting spree. He's got a couple, I think, attempted murder, reckless firearm shootings out there, but he's got a real long record. He put some steel in the elderly woman's mouth, took all her money, then waited for her husband to come out the bank and took his money in the car, or something to that effect. Driving around, and the police spotted him in another neighborhood, so when the police spotted him, guess what he did? He shot the police. The only thing to say to the cop, of course, that he had on a bulletproof vest. But the guy ran off into the woods. And so the police called in the FBI and whatever. They went on an extensive manhunt hunt in this town for this young man. So they finally located him, maybe about 4 or 5 miles from where he initially shot the police officer at. But you want to hear the crazy part? When they found him, they arrested him without incident. There was no problem. And no problem whatsoever. The woman whose house he was staying in her basement, she claims to the police officer she didn't know he was down there. And everybody took her at her word because she was a mature woman. And you expect somebody in their 50s at least to be honest with in terms of, this guy has committed a bunch of hideous crimes against black folk. Okay? So you don't got no problem with this. He was hiding in your basement. You should be glad the police found him, huh? Flash forward to a couple hours later, the investigative reporter came to her house, and the woman is so damn stupid. The lady said, the investigative reporter, we heard the criminal, the cop shooter was found in your basement. Yeah, he was found in my basement. I'm like, Oh, did you know he was there? Now, instead of her just not answering the question, let me tell you what smart ass did. Yeah, I knew he was there. Yeah, I knew. She said, well, do you know you were Harvard fugitive? Well, I knew he was in the basement. I wasn't hiding no fugitive. I didn't hide no fugitive. You know. Well, I mean, well, yes, he did. He's wanted for shooting a couple. I mean, robbing robbing a couple. He's wanted for, um, a couple very serious crimes here. He's definitely there was a fugitive of the law. Well, I wasn't hiding no fugitive. Well, y'all always try to get upset when somebody shoot a cop. Y'all don't get mad when a cop shoots somebody else. Huh. Oh, okay. So you knew he was in your basement, and now you're giving extras, and you saying, why is everybody so concerned that he was in my basement? He just shot a cop. Nobody gets upset when a cop shoot a person. I'm sure this lady had learning disability because she couldn't know the ramification behind her telling the police that she didn't know he was in her house. But then when the damn news lady come, you want your 5 minutes of fame, you told her you knew he was a fugitive. He wasn't a fugitive, but he was in your basement. Yeah, you knew he was there. He a good kid. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He just shot a cop. Hell, cops shoot people. Okay, well, her very intelligent interview got her picked up by the police, and now she's looking at 10 years in prison, right alongside her comrade that shot the people and shot the cops. Because she wasn't harbing no fugitive. And guess what else? Her daughter, she said she didn't know the guy was in the house, and then she said that she did. So the police, who gave her the benefit of the doubt, when they first asked her if she knew and she said no, well, they retrieved her phone records. And come to find out she was texting her daughter. And they were having conversations about where the police were. Do you think he was going to get arrested? Is he going to get caught? Where is all this was going on? In a text conversation with her and her daughter. Again, you would expect black people to be this old, be more mature. But we got a community full of dead heads from the neck up. And either we're going to implement a drop squad, because we got a subculture that is beyond belief. They will actually watch you do something to another black person, hurt them, kill them, rape them, rob them, and they'll hide the person because they don't care about you. They're predators. They're infidels and riffraff. And they got to be dealt with. I don't want to go have a new community with these kind of niggas in there that'll prey off us like that. And then some nigga, stupid woman talking about, I ain't harbing no fugitive. He ain't do nothing but shoot a cop. Don't nobody say nothing when a cop shoot us. Now everybody want to say something because he shot a cop. He a good kid. She ain't never mentioned the black people he robbed. And the guns he put down in their mouth and scared them and traumatized them for the rest of their life. However much time they got left. I'm sure that shortened it. I can't. Okay? I really can't. And until we wake up and stop blaming everybody for our situation, take full responsibility for our acting this shit, our craziness, the hood is a damn graveyard, a straight up cemetery full of walking corpses that talk obituaries. Thank you, Gat. I'm just disturbed. So disturbed. With that being said, I'm glad y'all gave me a chance to vent. I appreciate it. Now I can go back to normal. Thank you for listening and have a great day. And check your stores out in your community. Please. Please. And if you know somebody with a store like that, tell them. Tell them.